Hello again. This is the Water Man, Spiritual Toolbox number 51, the Love Chapter number 27, audio recording number 369, examination table number 31. I'll be continuing in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. I'll start off by reading it from the King James Version. Verse 4 says, Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. So, covered down, charity suffereth long, and is kind so far. So now let's go to charity envieth not, okay? All right. Shoot. Come on. Okay. All right. Start off. This word charity again is number 26. It's this agape.
Strong's G26. Agape.
All right. Hang on now. All right. And that's just the love that God has for us. The love beyond words. Okay. Now, it has charity, and then not envieth is where they have it in here, okay? And this not is that OU. We're familiar with this, right? 3756. This word.
Strong's G 3756. Ooh.
In short, as a memory marker, it's ooh, yuck. Right? This is like love, this love beyond word, ooh, yuck, to whatever this is. Kind of that envieth. Okay, and I'm going to break that down here in just a little bit. Okay? So it's ooh, yuck. It's absolute negative. It means it's absolutely not allowed by God. All this stuff is yuck. Thinking this ooh, yuck. It's not allowed, not permitted by God to go through this eye of the needle, back all the way from out of, to towards, into, and in, resting in God, and in union with God, S-Y-N. All this in the midst of this middle, inside you, in your thinking process, none of that thinking of this old stuff that envieth, okay? We're going to break that down just in a little bit. That's not allowed. It's absolutely prohibited by God. Just a second. Now, let's take a look at this envieth, okay? And that word is spelled, it's 2206, the envieth, that they translate as envieth. Okay? It's spelled Z-E-L-O-O. It's number 2206, 2206, okay?
Strong's G2206. Zelao. Thayer's Lexicon, related entry. Zeluo.
It's again, it's It's not loud. Nope. Okay. It's a verb. Okay. It's from the etymology, the root etymology, which we'll cover in a little bit, is 2205. The word here is 2206. That's the verb. Right? Is from the root 2205. It's tracing it back. Okay. Now, let's go on down here and look at this. All the way down to, let's go to Strong's here. Okay. Is to have or possess okay? To possess in your land, in your mind, okay? Warmth of feeling for or against. In the eye of that storm, what are you doing? You have to agree in hot pursuit of God. Okay? Agree. Chop that stuff out, chop that bull stuff out, and go into God with all you got. Hang on tight as you can. Okay? Adhere yourself to the anointing of Christ, to Jesus Christ, to Yahweh is salvation, is deliverance from this stuff through the Christ, okay? The way, the truth, and the life, through this eye of the needle, okay? And in doing so, it burns off, it consumes off all that garbage stinking out of that thing, transforming it into the right-mindedness of God. You're in a progression of being purified. And in this fiery trials, in this consuming fire, this consuming fire, burning out that garbage thinking, and refining fire, melting off all those impurities, coming back to the right-mindedness of God in each and every little bitty ball of that thought processes. It's increasing that plank length size seed is taking over. The rightful king is taking and ruling within you. Little bit by little bit by little bit. It's changing your thinking, changing your ways. All the other stuff is just suppressing it. It's not real. Okay? As soon as you give up on that, and you will, in your fleshly thinking, because it's weak, man, it's worse than ever. Okay? You take the drug addict or the alcoholic thing that hadn't took a drink or nothing for years, and all of a sudden they get drunk once, and then, man, they're full bore. And a lot of that, like a drug addict or something, it's just they do it so hard that they end up killing themselves. You OD and die. Okay? Now, and that's just one way of thinking about it. It's showing you. Okay? That's all. Now, so this warmth in you is zeal. Either going back into God, fall into love with God, or you fall away from love with God. You're disagreeing. And trying to stay in the middle, you're falling away. It'll suck you down into that oil slick of big old poop. You're seeing, hearing, taste, touch, or smell with your own ego in control. As it's mightier, greater than you are. You don't have a chance. The only chance is to hang on to God. That hollow of His hand, His works, God's works, pulling you out of this. All the rest of it is just hopelessness. And you were subjected to this vanity, this hopelessness. Not willingly, but in hope. So that hope can grow back to confidence in God. Greater and greater and greater and greater. 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16. See what I'm saying? Just like that seed is being transformed inside this little bitty ball of your thinking processes area, or this little individual thought process is being carved out, cut out, and transformed. Through much fire and pressure in the world there must be tribulation, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. John 16:33, okay? Wow. Just a second. A little hard to breathe sometimes. Okay, now, this stuff's been transformed back into the right-mindedness of God. Just keep on going, keep on existing into the self-existing one. God is your exceeding great reward. Right? Now, as we do this, it's kind of a dichotomy, two opposed things. Fall into love with God, or fall away from God. There is no middle ground. That's that two in the earth. That's yuck. Thankfully, God will burn that out of you. Woo! This is for you. This fire, good. This pressure's good. And doesn't taste like it. In the moment you're doing it, this sour, bitter vinegar solution is, ooh, you want to give up. That fleshly thinking, but see, that fleshly thinking is what's got to be done away with. Surrender it. And go on beyond that. Those that are from beyond this natural stinking thinking. That's the only way you can go through that eye of the needle with spirit. Okay, the very thought processes of God. He's like pouring in that water. He's burning that other out and pouring it in there. Okay, and it's growing in density inside there as it's hollowing that out. Whoa. Okay. Now, so when you come to this in the storms of life, to that dichotomy to fall in or fall out. Okay. You're like I got it colored, highlighted green, to fall in pursuit, in hot pursuit of God's right-mindedness, His love beyond words. God, you're right. Your will, your desire, your purposes, your love beyond words be done. I'm trusting in you with all my heart, all my thinking processes, all my mind, every thinking process in there, and I'm believing, I'm staying in that. Not giving up on you. Okay? That's the green. The red, this is versus it. It's against or in disagreement. Trying to weasel your way through it, manipulate out or whatever. All that stuff. Anything but being in hot pursuit of God, being in this green is red. Just like red light and green light. Yellow light doesn't make it either. Trying not to make a decision or trying to go real fast to get to it and slip one over somebody. You can't slip it over on God. You'll take that little bit you're trying to slip, all you can think, boom, blow out up to the size of the universe and look at it all the way down to a hair. Yeah, right. You missed it by a mile. Blech. Vomit that stuff out. Go around that mountain again. Okay? You can't do that. God knows you way better than you know yourself. Right? Okay, so in this red, the yuck, your poopy thinking, it's in disagreement with God's right-mindedness. And it's from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Saying, well, but I was doing it good. And God took that little bit of hair of thought process as small down as you can see it with your natural eyes, blew that good up to the size of the observable universe. Said, nope, that's not me. That's not from the plank length size seed. This is from all this rah, 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 rah. I got it right. Blah, 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 blah. I got a petition. Blah, 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 blah. All of humanity agrees with me. Blah, 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 blah. You must be wrong, God. What? Nope, not possible. This is absolutely not allowed. Ooh, yuck. Blech. Vomit you out of his mouth. Go around that mountain again. Not right. Needs more purified. This water's got crap in it. This thinking processes, this one right here is still yuck. Because I blew it up and looked at it real good. Way beyond what you could look at it. Okay? You say, well, I looked at it real close. I really examined it. I spent a lot of time on this. I spent years. Yeah, but you only got down to this hair. God blows that thing up to the size of the universe and looks all the way down to another hair and then knows that intimately, that seed that's smaller than that plank size, because that's Him that He put inside you before the foundation or the conception of your cosmos thinking process, your orderly arrangement in your mind. In each and every thought process. God knows you way better than you know yourself. And that deep is calling out to God's deep. Communicating prayer. It's making prayer like in Romans chapter 8, verse 26, 27. It's making prayer, communications with God, and words and things you can't even, thought process that you can't even begin to understand. Thank goodness. All this rah, 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 the carnal mind of your non-spiritual mind, this alpha dog, this bullshit talk, this unintelligible hee-hawing donkey barking, bark, 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 this alpha dog, this parakeet over here, it's all messed up, sound like a chicken and turkey and all these different things. It's just a beast nature. He's taking that 666 out of your mind. Agree, be reasonable. Don't go in your own works and say, that's God, that's good. 666 in your hand. Your efforts. Yuck! Get it out. That's not allowed. Absolutely not allowed by God. It's baggage thinking. Can't go through the eye of the needle. It's got to be consumed in God's consuming fire. And then refined out those impurities, those impure metals and stuff. That dirt and all those different things at different temperatures. Purified. Brought right back into the right-mindedness of God. That purified water. Whew. Okay? Now, okay? In the Thayers, this word that they translate as envieth, in the King James Version, number 2206, okay, is to envy, be jealous, to initiate, emulously, to strive after. And emulously, if you look at that, what that's really the definition, don't leave it out there obscure and not really real detailed, sure, because God is detailed. When He blows up at as far down as you can observe with your natural means, God blows that up to the size of an observable universe. Goes all the way down in there to that hair length, hair width, and looks at the seed that He put in there. Whoa, way beyond this, okay? So let's look a little closer. This emulously is being ambitious or competitive manner. To do it in to exist in a state of being ambitious and competitive manner about it. And I'm gonna make them feel so small. Just like that false accuser, that diabolos in you, that old carnal stinking thinking, that false accuser, that slanderous thing that's trying to slander you. Rah, 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 rah. Okay? That dark, ignorant thinking within your mind. Nothing out but to kill, to steal, and to destroy. I think it's John 10:10. 1 through 10, okay? You can't enter that gate. Yuck. Enter through that. No. It's absolutely prohibited, okay? So this ambitious crap, bullshit. Okay, it's worthless and detestable, okay? And now, envy, it's also, this envy is a feeling of discontent, okay? Of covetousness, it's wanting what others have, or something else, desiring after something else, something to fulfill you. You're reaching out and grasping after the wind. Open it up, you don't have nothing in there. Air, maybe some old poop thinking, ooh, yuck. That's prohibited by God. Ooh, yuck, clean that off. Okay? This envy is a feeling or a thought process of discontent or covetousness, grabbing after that wind, okay, grasping after the wind, like King Solomon was saying. It's all vanity, it's hopelessness, it's worthless, it's temporary and unsatisfactory, it doesn't satisfy you for long, it's a facade. Know this, know that, it's all going downhill, okay? Okay, doing this with regard to another's advantages, successes, possessions, jealousy of it, okay, etc., is to vie, V-I-E. And that vie, the V-I-E, to vie after something, is to strive in competition or rivalry with another. With the other in your mind, with that right-mindedness of God, the stinking thinking. You're listening to the wrong one. It's telling you good and bad, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's tricking you. It's a manipulation. Make God true, this righteousness of God, and all this anthropos thinking, this yuck thinking. Make it a liar. Acknowledge it's a liar. That's bullshit. I'll put down the bullshit flag. Bam! Bullshit on the play. Like you're playing it, like you're doing like a football game and you're the referee out there. You're throwing a flag. They throw flag for holding and all this stuff. Well, you're throwing a bullshit flag. Bam! Dung on the play. I count that all as dung for winning Christ. Send them all the way back up against the goal line. You guys lose. You're not prohibited. You're prohibited from entering. You're prohibited from winning and going through the eye of the needle. You're not agreeing with God. Okay? And they do all this stuff, that stuff, that false accuser, and that diabolos, that Satanas, same thing. Satanas is just opposing as an imposter of light. This is understanding. I understand the way. Then you see him down, possibly see down to the size of hair. Well, God's blown that thing up to the size of the observable universe, and listening to that other hair inside there, the width of a hair. It's like a seed, and that's him. It's his righteousness in there. Woo! Way down there. Okay? Just like in the black hole, you can't see, hear, taste, touch, or smell nothing inside a black hole because that light can't even get out. But that gravitational pull is way beyond anything you can even fathom, really, how great it is. And it's tiny, 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 tiny. See the likeness? The heavens, even this outside stuff, this universe stuff, is telling the glory of God and declare his handiwork, God's efforts. It's showing you a picture of what's going on inside you, because God's working from the internal to the external. Okay? Omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, sovereign God. He's omnipresent. He's in this. Okay? All right? And this old alpha dog, this yuck thinking, it contends for superiority. Yeah, I'm bad. I'm bad. You know it. See? Bullshit flag on the play. You're worthless and detestable. Get out of here, you old dog. Your job, tell it, shut up. Put a sock in it. Be still. Duct tape around it. Giving you a toolbox here. Okay, saturating your ground, your land, your mind with this water from the Word of God, the thought processes of God. Okay? Now, so that's in this 2206 this is wrong, God. I got caught. I got exposed. Like God's taking, you run down to this size of hair. Look, I examined it plumb down to the size of hair. And God's like pulling on the pants of this old stinking thinking. Blow that hair up to the size of the observable universe. Said, now, let's look all the way down here. Let's listen to this still small voice. All the way down here to this hair size. How this whole universe, we blew that with that other hair down that you was looking at and saying it was God. Let's blow it up and look at it. Let's examine it. Let's documato. Lay it out here and dissect it and look at it. God's looking at it. And this thing is all the way down. It's the seed of God. God knows it very, very well. He's exposing it. I see you, you naked sucker, you dog. Get out. Let's put a sock in it. Shut up. Be quiet. Right? All right. Now, hang on now. Just a second. Weather and stuff trying to get me. I'm not going to. Yeah, shut that stuff up. All right. Now, it's 2206. Root etymology of this is 2205. Woo! Okay. And this is at Z-E-L-O-S. This is the masculine neuter noun.
Strong's G 2205. Zelos. Zelos.
And that word, we'll get to it here in a little bit, is 2204. You got to kind of hurry up a little bit. Going about 6-7 minutes, something like that. Okay. 2205. Okay. Now, in the green, okay, this is a green into God, okay? Green and hot pursuit back into God, okay? This is the heat or the zeal into falling into the right-mindedness of God. Be in hot pursuit of God's right-mindedness, okay? And this is verses are directly opposed. The carnal mind is directly opposed to the will of God. So you go in and fall in God or you're falling back out, okay? You got to choose in the midst of these storms. Right in the eye of these, okay? Now, that's in a favorable way, in a favorable sense of this word. You're falling into God. In an unfavorable sense of this word, okay, it's being jealous of God, the rightful king, the rightful husband to you inside. It's wanting to marry you, bring you back into that back into like the nucleus and hold you tight with God's strong nuclear force, stronger than the physical nuclear force, and holding you. And that's a close, very close relationship, very intimate relationship with Him. Okay? And this, viewing this all yuck thinking, it's the enemy. Ooh, yuck. See, they're directly opposed. And it's not in that yuck stuff, it's nothing. Viewing that's all the good and the bad and the ugly of this other junk. It's all that's malicious, slanderous lies and yuck. Okay? One's own poop righteousness is jealous, is an enemy, and seeks malice with God. It strives against the true spouse, against the true king in you, and it tries to take over and tries to be your king for you. I am your God, boy. I got the last name dog. I'm Alpha Dog. Right? No. The Alpha and the Omega has to take over. You agree, and he's chopping that stuff out, okay? Now, I hope that was clear enough for you. Now that word, 2205, which is a masculine noun, that's a neutral noun, is from 2204. Okay, and this word.
Strong's G 2204. Zeo. Zeo.
Okay, and this zeo is the verb, and it is a primary verb. And it's getting all the way down to the root of this thing. Right down to the bottom. Digging it out, okay? It's a verb, okay? It's a primary verb, okay? It's to boil with heat. God's boiling that stuff out, chopping it out, and it's putting it in a wood pile, boiling it up and transforming that back into His right-mindedness. There's boiling heat in there. It's to be hot. In hot pursuit of God. Cut that crap out. Don't go back to that bullshit thinking. Alright? Throw a BS flag down on it. BS on the play on this thought process. Pow! Get out of there, yo dog. Beat it. Just beat it. You know, I don't really have to care what you say is good and bad. It's a bunch of bullshit. Alright? It's worthless and detestable. Okay? It's used of water. That's the thought processes of God. The spiritual word, the very thought processes of God. It's the righteousness of God, that love beyond words, okay? It's Okay, yeah, I covered that. Okay. It's used of boiling anger, love, zeal for what is good or bad. See, you're fall to the good, fall of God, or fall to this good, bad stuff. Tree of knowledge, good, evil. To the tree of life, we get the fullness of life in God, going all the way back from olive, all the way through all this eye of the needle, right back, EN resting in God, and SYN in union with God's right-mindedness. The tree of life. Or fall away. But not going anyway. Going no way. Going in hot pursuit. Going in that gate. Going in the way, the truth, and life. Back in the Father. No. You're going, that's all this yuck thinking. Don't be in hot pursuit of that. Don't even worry about that. Don't turn around like Lot's wife, go looking for that. Oh, I gotta say this. This might be good. It's yuck. It's poop. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not upon your own understanding, and He will direct your path, okay? Now, all that other stuff is disagreeing with God. I'm about to be shut off on this, okay? And Thayer's is boil with heat, be hot. Strong's is to boil out those solids, those impurities, and all that stuff, refining. Okay? You can look more on that if you want to. That's pretty much down to the root of that. Okay, I'll have to continue later. Bye-bye. This has been Spiritual Toolbox number 51. Thank you. Bye-bye.